everyone, I hope you guys are doing really well. Thank you all so much for your love and support as usual. I really do appreciate it. So I'm just coming at you with a video about not getting scammed in Berlin. If you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so already so you can get notified as to when I upload new videos. We all know that people are quite desperate in the world that we live in, and they would actually look for strategic ways to part you of your hard-earned money. And so beware and make sure that all your pennies, cents and kobbos from Nigeria are locked away. So this is how the story goes. It involves the guy that wanted to rent his apartment, Airbnb, my boyfriend and myself. Just to keep you informed, please do not put yourself in a situation where you feel the most desperate or vulnerable, because these situations are where the scammers feed on your weaknesses. If you do realize that you're in a very tight position between making a decision with regards to money with a third party or with anyone, please do not feel that you've got to act immediately, because that is where the scammer is working at your weakness. Finding accommodation in Berlin is almost like searching for a job. Several documents are required before you can even think about going to view a flat. So if I were to go back in time, I would actually find an apartment first, then go on to look for a job. Berlin is a really small city where so many people are like flooding into. I mean, housing for people within Berlin is really tight, so there's a lot of competition, and for every visit that you go to, there's literally about 60 other people wanting that apartment. It's almost like an impossible situation when you initially get to Berlin. I was just lucky enough that my company catered to my accommodation for the first couple of weeks. So yes, my bus is cooler than yours. I'm kidding. I'm going to tell you a story of what happened to myself when I initially came to Berlin. So I would advise that you take heed, because you don't want to fall a victim. I was nearly a victim, but I was wise enough to like just pull myself out of the situation, because the offer sounded too good to be true. So we're searching for apartments online closer to my workplace, so I wouldn't have to be traveling quite far distances. And of course you come across so many websites or so many offers, and in the end there's only like a handful of which you will be attending. So it got to a point that my boyfriend actually received an email. He forwarded the email to me and asked me what I thought about it. The email reads, from a guy called Blaszczynski Tomsz. I'm going to write the name somewhere on the screen here. So if you're coming to Berlin and you see that name anywhere on the net, especially in the accommodations section, please run as fast as you can. The email reads, I'm just going to read it word for word, so I will not change the structure of the sentence at all. I'll also put the email on the screen somewhere here so you can read it yourself. Anyway, so the email goes, hello, the rental period can start at any time if you decide, but you must reserve the apartment now. The address of the apartment is at Ratsburger Alley 325, 14,050 Berlin. That's the postcode. You can rent the flat earlier than the 1st of September 2017. I will contact Airbnb with your details, and after that they will send you the invoice with the payment details. Once the payment is completed, Airbnb will send the keys and the rental contract to your address. You will have, after that, 3 days to check the apartment and take the final decision if you will sign the rental agreement. If you decide to sign it, the payment will be forwarded to the owner of the apartment. If you decide not to sign it, Airbnb will refund the payment to your account, and you will need to send back the keys in bracket only after the payment is refunded to your bank account bracket. I need you to be serious in this transaction, otherwise I will be charged with 5% from the amount for reasons of disagreement. I will await your confirmation email in order to process with the transaction. So my boyfriend forwarded me that email, and I just thought, let me respond. And I wrote, "Hello Tomsz, thank you for your email. Can we have a phone number in order to speak with you? I have a few burning questions that need clarification, of which a few are as follows. How do you want us to reserve the apartment? You're aware that we're very much interested in the apartment. We would like to speed up the process to make sure that all necessary procedures work out accordingly. Number 2, you now have the general information about Michael. Could you please have Airbnb contact us as soon as possible for a viewing? And thirdly, for some reason also, we can't seem to find the link to the announcement anymore on Airbnb website. Could you please forward that to us? Looking forward to hearing from you soon." Tomsz responded, "Dear Elizabeth, number 1, tenant and owner agreement on the transaction terms and a renting price. The owner contacts Airbnb with the transaction details. Number 2, Airbnb accepts the transaction and offers protection to the tenant. If the transaction is declined, no further action is required from either the tenant or the owner. Number 3, the tenant sends payment to Airbnb by fax or by email. When payment is received, it will be verified and secured into a non-interest bearing trust account. After payment is secure, the owner is notified by Airbnb to start the shipping process to the tenant. Number 4, the tenant receives the keys and the rental contract and has 3 days to inspect it. If it is as expected and as what agreed over, the tenant's shoulder stand, accept the rental contract and sign it. If he refuses the contract or the conditions by any valid reason, the tenant must ship the envelope with its original content back to the owner at the owner's expense within 3 business working days. Number 5, upon the inspection period, the tenant must contact Airbnb with the result of the inspection. If the tenant refuses the rental, a full refund will be sent after the tracking number for the returning shipment is verified. Best regards, Blaszczynski, Tomsz." As for me, to be honest, that email did not make sense to me at all. I think he must have just copied and pasted this bullshit that he wrote and sent it to me without thinking about the question I asked for. Then I responded to the email. "Hello Tomsz, thanks for the detailed explanation. Can you please send me your phone number in order to have a conversation? I would really appreciate it if you could also send the link as demanded in my previous email, because myself and my boyfriend can't seem to find the link to the apartment anymore on Airbnb." Then he responds, "Dear Elizabeth, I am with my work in Italy, as I told you, and for the moment I cannot speak on the phone. I only use the Airbnb service. The apartment is only posted on quaka.de. Best wishes." Then I just said to Michael, I'm like, Michael, this is a huge scam. Number one question is, why is he already talking about transaction? He's requesting for part of the payment without us viewing the apartment in order to have the keys sent to us, telling me that Airbnb will contact us once payment has been received, and that if we don't like the apartment, we can always return the keys to the apartment and have our money refunded. Please. I mean, why would we send a payment to an apartment that we haven't even viewed yet? So he's wanting money from us in order to send the keys. It doesn't make sense at all. He actually also sent an email with the invoice. I'll put the invoice on the screen here. Please tell me that you can see the foolery, the fakery of this invoice. So anyway, I contacted Airbnb directly. This was the first time using Airbnb, and Airbnb told me straight up, we don't contact tenants. If you're wanting an apartment, you go straight directly to the Airbnb website, and transaction is done on that site alone, airbnb.com. And this guy mentions that his apartment is listed on quaka.de. So I'm wondering, why is he working alongside Airbnb, then his apartment is listed on a different site, then is sending an invoice that is supposedly from Airbnb. Anyway, Airbnb said to me that they don't deal with third parties, and if anyone is requesting for money before viewing a particular apartment, then of course it's a scam. And I knew this already just from the very first email that Michael sent to me. As soon as I saw that email, it just screamed out scam to me. But of course Michael didn't want to believe it, because I mean, it was super stressed. Finding an apartment in Berlin is just super tiring. Him working, trying to find an apartment for me in Berlin, traveling to Wittenberg back and forth was just really tiring, and he just wanted it to be over already. So I could understand where it was coming from, not wanting to believe that it was a scam, but it was a scam. Simple as. He sent a couple of emails. This email just screams scam already. I mean, the very first one was like screaming scam, but this one that he sent, I've just found, I'll put everything on the screen for you guys to see, just screams fakery. So he goes, "Hello Michael and Elizabeth, more pictures of the apartment are here. www.postimg.org/gallery/166 bullshit." I wouldn't understand why he partnered with Airbnb and he can't just take us directly to the link of his apartment on Airbnb. Anyway, he goes, "You can rent the apartment for a minimum of 2 months and a maximum of 5 years, but we can also renew the contract. The apartment is fully furnished, but if you want, you can rent it unfurnished. The utilities costs are included. As I told you in my first email, I am with my work right now. Before leaving Germany, I had pre-arranged the deal with Airbnb company, so my presence isn't necessary." Seriously? You need to rent your apartment to someone and you're not going to see who the person is going to be? Really? The keys and all required papers are at their possession, ready for delivery. You will have 3 days to inspect the apartment before you rent it. Airbnb will start the delivery of the keys and the contract to you. But first, you must deposit the value of 1 rental month plus €1,000 security deposit, a total of 1,517 bloody euros in their account. So if you want to make this deal, please log in to www.airbnb.com, and after that please send me the following details: full name and address, shipping address, Airbnb username. Why do you need my Airbnb username for? Seriously? ID and passport copy. After I've received your details, I will forward them to Airbnb and I will proceed with the order. Airbnb will contact you with the details that you need to complete the deal, awaiting your email with the required details. Seriously? Like seriously? 1,517 euros, just like that, just to disappear like that. Yeah, if it was anyone else out there, I won't be surprised if they had fallen for it. Once you're in a situation whereby you're so desperate to find where you're going to live and you don't know where your next night will be in Berlin, especially when you found the job, then of course you're going to make this payment immediately in order to put your head somewhere to sleep at night. Otherwise, there are many bridges in Berlin where you can sleep. I joke, but it's just really sad that people will still fall for this. But I just want to like let people know out there that if you come across any guy called Tomsz Blaszczynski, please do not fall for his tricks. I will leave his email details and everything in this video so you're aware of who this person might be. If you do have any questions or comments as to what you've seen in this video, if you've almost been scammed as well, please leave your story in the description box and I will be happy to read that. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so already. Like and share to those who you think might need to watch this. I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you so much and bye. Don't get scammed in Berlin.